Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Made in New York. Huh? Last episode was short. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it was a rough week. I'm not gonna lie. So, if you're wondering, probably not, but I'm gonna hop into it because it'll explain what this episode is mostly on. So, um, a relative of mine recently died, and he was a young man, 24 years old, I believe. And yeah, it was like a rough week. I didn't like research as much, and like I said to myself, I didn't want to miss any episodes this year. So even if my head wasn't in the zone, I just had to shoot a little episode, even if it was short. But anyways, the funeral was last weekend, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure like some of us have like seen some funerals. Like I'm not at funerals a lot, but like this was rough. This was rough. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was like a cloud over the whole city almost, and just the mood was so heavy that when I went outside, like I can breathe. And man, it was just like once like we walked in that room and we saw him because it was open. It was like surreal. Like it really hit. Like this is real. And on and off, like as I'm like I'm home, I'm hanging out, I'm on the road. It doesn't seem real. Like yo, what? He's gone. Like the last person who I'd ever, believe would do something like that, is not here anymore. Like, someone who was always, he seemed relaxed, always sane, highly smart, and just like the last few months, just like, downhill, and now this. So it was rough for sure. I know it sounds horrible, but like I'm glad I'm home, like because I was just a lot for sure, and just I hope we all heal from it and just learned also whatever if it's a sibling, a mother, father, someone just reach out, ask if they're all right, you know like really ask like how's your mental health, how are you, because you really never know. We always say you never know, but we don't realize the weight of like what that really means. Like we didn't really know the meaning of it. Like at least me, for me to see him not here anymore, like you never know, has a whole nother meaning now. It holds so much more weight. So it's just like it almost has me in fear also of like, yo, like I really never know either. Just makes me so nervous. So in this episode I wanna watch a few clips of, people who have seen sort of the next round, the afterlife, whether it's real or not. I believe in it. I'm just saying some of you might not. Just like I was just like at the funeral and everything. I was just wondering, like, what did he see? How did he handle it? Where is he now? And just like, yeah, yeah, it's really bizarre. It's really a shame that someone so young lost a life. But yeah, let's hop in and let's listen to these clips.
I'm an atheist. I'm a lifelong atheist. I'm a rationalist. I'm not spiritual. I'm not a mystic. I'm not woo-woo. I'm nothing, right? And my dad was an atheist and a physicist. I have to say all this because of what's coming. And I'm still an atheist, by the way. But so all of a sudden, I sensed below me and to my left this black pit open up, this black abyss, like this infinite black void. And I was getting pulled into it. And it's not like darkness had taken over the world. The world was here. I could see the doctors. I was talking to them, right? Here I am. But the darkness was contained in this hole that was underneath me, and I was getting pulled into it, right? I didn't know I was dying, but I had this instincts of a wounded animal. Like, if I go into the pit, the infinitely dark pit, I'm not coming out, right? Like, I just sensed, don't go in there because you're not coming back, right? And I started to panic because I felt myself getting drawn in, right? And then my dead father, appeared above me and to my left. Now, there's a whole body of inquiry of NDEs, near-death experiences, and I didn't know anything about this stuff, right? I didn't know anything about it. It didn't interest me. I'm not culturally prepped for anything like that. I'm not Christian. I didn't see angels. I'm a zero in that regard, right? There's my dead father above me, right? He'd been dead 8 years. I love him. But I was not happy to see him, right? I was shocked. I mean, literally, I was, Dad? What are you doing here? And there he was, and he communicated to me. And so what I saw, see isn't quite the right verb, but I don't know if there doesn't exist the right verb. I sensed/saw him, and it was his essence, his energy, his presence, right? It's not like I see you, right? It's like, oh, there he is, right? It wasn't with that clarity. In some ways, it was with a deeper clarity because it was his essence, right? And there he was. His presence was right there. And above me and to my left, it was quite specific. And he communicated to me, again, not with words, but with some manner that I understood, that I can't quite explain what it was. But basically, the idea was, you don't have to fight it. You can come with me. I'll take care of you. It's okay. It's okay. Don't be scared, right? I'll take care of you. I was horrified. I was appalled. I was offended. I was like, you're dead. Why would I want to go with you? You're dead. You're the opposite of what I am. Why would I possibly want to go with you and be dead with you? Because I'm alive with my family right now. I'm not going anywhere with you. Get out of here. And I said to the doctor, you have to hurry. I'm going right now. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I was sort of outbound. And once that happened, there's no inbound. And I sensed that. I said, you got to hurry. You're losing me right now.
So what'd they do?
Well, they transfused me. They stabilized me with 3 units of blood. Eventually, I needed 10 units, which is a full complement of blood. And so let me just pause for a moment and say, please donate blood. Everybody who's listening, I'm alive. My daughters have a father because 10 people who I'll never know donated their blood. And when you donate blood, you are literally allowing another person to live. And one day, you might live because someone else donated blood. And doctors can't manufacture that shit. If you donate blood, it takes an hour, it doesn't hurt, and your body will replace it in a couple of weeks. It's the ultimate free lunch. And
I think it's quicker than a couple of weeks. I think it's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick, yeah. Yeah, I mean, to get up to 100%, I think it's a little long, but whatever. It doesn't matter, right? It's we're talking about human life here.
Right.
And if you want to be part of something greater than yourself, it's blah, blah, blah.
Right.
All these things that we all kind of want. How do I participate? Nobody needs me. I'm not part of anything. I feel lonely. Give blood, man. Then you'll be part of something amazing, right? And you might. So I give blood regularly. So at any rate, there's my pitch. But so they stuffed some blood in me through my jugular. I stabilized, and they brought me to the the cath lab, the interventional radiology suite. And what interventional radiology is, it's a freaking miracle, right?
Right, that was the first one, and before I play the next one, I sort of want to include some in between of what happened and just what happens with me. So this is all new to me. someone who I knew so close. And just like, I'm not sure if this is how it happens with you. If it has happened, like, please let me know below. It sort of haunts you at night, like, and randomly, like, at certain moments, I sort of like replay it in my head. Even if I didn't like witness it, I heard what happened, and just like right before I sleep, like it messes with me. Like it's like in my head, and just how his mom felt, and just how it all worked, and how we all had our own reactions to what happened. It's a surreal moment for sure. And I don't want to sound all like, wow, woo, 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 or whatever, and just like, it might be all in my head for sure. But like, it is made in New York. If you're like a fan and you've been watching, shit, like, we like all this, we bring it up a lot every episode. Is what we're about. I've had like moments where I close my eyes and like I feel watched, and like I sort of feel like someone like has walked by. It's hard to explain, but that's how it feels. And just like I open my eyes and like I see no one. Yes, it might be all in my head. I'm highly aware of that, but yeah, it's like a weird feeling. And just like, I just wonder, like, is it him? But I don't know. It might be nothing. It might be something. So let's play the next one. All right. Now we have a woman here who says that she was in heaven for 11 minutes. Oh, 11 minutes exactly.
I was above my body. I could see them doing chest compressions. I could see them, all the nurses around. I could smell the most beautiful flowers I've ever smelled. And then I heard music. When I opened my eyes, I knew where I was. I knew I was in heaven.
In 2019, Charlotte Holmes was having a routine checkup with her cardiologist when her blood pressure spiked to 234/134.
My heart doctor said, "You're not going home. We're going to put you in the hospital. We've got to get that blood pressure down. It's got to come down. You're having another stroke, or you're going to have a heart attack." They put me in a room and started an IV just to, try to get that blood pressure down.
Charlotte's husband, Danny, stayed with her while the hospital staff tended to her.
Immediately, they called this code, and everybody started rushing in. They just started working on her. And my feelings was, I thought, well, I'm wondering if I'm even going to be able to bring her home.
Charlotte began describing things to Danny.
She started talking about the flowers. Well, I looked around and I knew there was no flowers in that room. That's when I knew she was not in this world when that was going on.
Charlotte's heart stopped. For the next 11 minutes, she was clinically dead.
I was above my body. I could see Danny standing in the corner. He had backed up. I could see them, all the nurses around. Then I opened my eyes. I looked around at the beauty. I could see the trees. I could see the grass. And everything was swaying with the music, because everything in heaven worships God. I can't convey to you what heaven looked like, because it's so above what we can even imagine, 1,000,000 times.
Charlotte says she was led into heaven by angels.
There's no fear. It's like pure joy. When the angels takes over, there's no fear. When you're going home, it's pure joy.
She says she then began to recognize deceased family members.
I seen my mom. I seen my dad. I seen my sister. I seen family members standing behind. I seen saints of old. See, they didn't look old. They didn't look sick. None of them wore glasses. They looked like they were in their 30s. But yet it says in the scriptures, we will be known as we were known. I knew them there in their new bodies. They looked wonderful.
What Charlotte saw after that, however, shocked her.
Standing behind my mom and dad was a light so bright. I couldn't look upon it. I mean, it was so bright. But I knew it was my Heavenly Father. Seen a toddler. And that toddler, I couldn't understand. And I can remember thinking, who is this? And I heard my father say to me, my Heavenly Father say to me, it's your child. I lost that child. I was 5.5 months pregnant. I can remember them holding the baby up and saying, Charlotte, it's a boy. Then he was gone. So when I seen this toddler, I said, God, how is that possible? He says, they continue to grow in heaven, but there's no time. It's eternity. So 48 years, and here my child, our child, is a toddler.
Then, God chose to show her one more thing.
God took me to the edge of hell, and I looked down, and the smell, and then rotten flesh. That's what it smelled like, and screams. After seeing the beauty of heaven, the contrast to seeing hell is almost unbearable. And he says, I show you this to tell you, if some of them do not change their ways, this is where they shall reside. I heard my father say, you have time to go back and share.
As quickly as she had gone to heaven, Charlotte's spirit came back.
I felt myself being drawn into my body. I felt the pain where I hadn't felt pain. I felt the sorrow. Danny said that they come running in and your eye blinked. And he said, I knew then I was going to get to bring you home.
Charlotte made a full recovery and was released from the hospital after 2 weeks. She has been sharing her story since then, in public appearances and with everyone she comes in contact with.
People need hope. They want to know that there really is something out there. They want to know that everything's okay. I have been privileged to bring people to Christ, as he asked me to do. All the authority that he had, he has given to us in the name of Jesus Christ. Not because of who we are. God promises us. He said, if it were not so, I would have told you. But he's gone to prepare us a place. Heaven is more than you can imagine. I can look you square in the eye and tell you for sure, heaven is real.
Whew. Yeah, that was wild. Whether you believe it or not, it, gives you hope, no? That, there's more, there's something else. And, watching that and the situation over the weekend and in the last week, it led me to, be sad, but also like, I would say motivational. And, we really don't know how long we are here. So while you're here, like, make it meaningful. And when I say that, I don't mean like hustle, don't sleep, like none of that. I just mean like, if you're in our situation, just work towards making it better. If you're not where you want to be, there's a way, if you're if you're lost, explore, you'll find yourself. I didn't want to mention this on this show. I wanted it to be separate, something else. But while I'm out here, sharing some motivation and being honest, if you haven't noticed already, which you probably stutter, and it's something I've had since, I don't know, the age of 6 or 7, and I was always the one in the back of the classroom, the one who was always hiding, the one who was always looking for like majors that wouldn't like, involve or work as well, that sort of like, wouldn't like involve a lot of i- interaction and using my voice. I was always like ashamed of myself. It was always like a why me situation, But like as I grew older and had someone who helped me out of that, someone who helped me like to not avoid anything. And as I looked around, I saw, oh, everyone has something. It might not be the same. It might be something small, something major. We all have something. I have no business, having a a, fr- a freaking pod and using my voice and sharing it with the world. But out of like all of my hobbies and just like whatever art I sort of found, and this is one I've really enjoyed. It was one I felt like it was a hangout, and just like I just talk about what I want, whether it's serious, silly, um, whatever it is. And that's the reason I'm here. And just like, it's not for the views, the clout, all of that is nice and everything, but it's not for that. It's just because it makes me happy. And I'm hoping that if you have something that, holds you back, you feel is holding you back, or like you won't be able to work in like a certain field because of this or that, like please, like if it's what you really want, you can do it. Find a way. All the hate, it doesn't matter. I'm sure I have hate. I'm sure I have someone laughing at me, making fun of me. It really does not matter, because my life is my life, your life is yours, and you're not on someone's mind like that long. If they're swiping and they see you and they write something, you're on his or her mind for like a minute max, and then you move along. If you don't want to pursue what you really want for like, being hated or making fun of for like 1 minute, it's a shame, because you should be happy. You should look for what you want, and I know that more than ever. So, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Please like and subscribe. Show some love. Share love with your blessed one. Look after your relatives. Your friends. Send a message. Make sure we're all right and healthy. And I'll see ya on the next episode. And the email below if you have any like no supernatural event like the ones you just heard on this episode or whatever. Please send it in. I would love to like play it here and react. So I'll see you guys. Peace out.